Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do a review between the Royal Enfield Thunderbird and the Renegade Commando. Basically this video is not to prove that one bike is good and the other bike is bad. The reason is because both the bikes has positives and negatives, and both the bikes has strong points which are non-overlapping. So if you are a person who is planning to buy a motorcycle and confused between these two, maybe you should ask few questions to yourself so that you will get cleared with those things, and you can move forward in buying any of these based on your preferences. As I told before, this is not a video to tell that this bike is good or better than the other one. So let's get started. I will tell that if you are a person who is mostly riding in the city and very rarely taking your motorcycle onto the highway, Royal Enfield Thunderbird will be a better choice, because Renegade Commando has a much higher wheelbase, so it makes it difficult to ride it through the traffic. As you know that I'm from Bangalore and we have very shitty traffic over here, and it makes it a bit difficult to ride through the traffic. So Thunderbird will be a better choice in that case. And when it comes to highway riding, say you are a person who rides almost all the time on the highway and you have very less rides on the city limits, then I will tell you Renegade Commando will be a better choice. There also I have two opinions. The thing is that if you are a person who want to cruise at a speed of 100 to 120, then Renegade Commando will be a good choice. But you are a person and you want to cruise at a speed of 80 km per hour, then Thunderbird will be a good choice, because the maximum speed of Thunderbird is around 115, I guess, the 350cc Thunderbird, and you push it to a limit of 100 and 110, it gives a lot of vibration to the handlebar as well as the seat, so it makes it much difficult to ride for long hours. But in the case of the Renegade Commando, you'll get a very comfortable ride even after riding for a long time. We've been riding this motorcycle for around 30 to 40 kilometers by now, and we have been switching it. So what I feel just by switching from the Thunderbird to the Renegade is that the Renegade is much more a silent motorcycle, and it doesn't give much stress to the handlebars, as in kind of vibrations, and the seats are also very much cushioned. So I feel that Renegade Commando will be a better choice if you are a highway kind of person. And talking about off-roads, we are gonna take this motorcycle to a place called Kolar, and afterwards we'll be doing some off-roading over there. So I'll talk about that in the later part of the video. Now talking about the braking capacity of these two motorcycles, I will tell that the Thunderbird has much more good braking capacity. We need to keep the factor in mind that the Royal Enfield, the Thunderbird has both discs in the front as well as the rear. That makes it possible to stop it very accurately. That's what I feel. And when you compare it with the Renegade Commando, the braking capacity is a bit low. Well, the one main reason is that it has drum brakes at the rear, which is not so great. And another main point which came to my mind is the pillion comfort. The pillion comfort is comparatively good with Renegade Commando. The reason is because it has much more cushioned seat, and Thunderbird, it is much stiffer seat, and it makes it a bit difficult for the pillion to sit in the rear seat for a longer time. Now, as the spec sheet tells, the pickup of Renegade Commando is much better than the Royal Enfield Thunderbird. So those who are a kind of person who want a better pickup, then obviously your choice should be the Renegade Commando than the Thunderbird 350. Now talking about the gearbox and clutch, Royal Enfield Thunderbird is much better when compared to the Renegade Commando, just because the Renegade Commando has a very bad gearbox. And now talking about the heating issues, the Thunderbird doesn't heat up much. That's what I can feel after riding that motorcycle for a few days in the city. But on the other hand, Renegade Commando has some other heating issues. So if you're gonna take the Renegade Commando in the city for long time, then probably you'll be having some hard time dealing with the heating issues of the bike. And now talking about the stability on higher speeds, What I felt is that the Thunderbird is much more stable at higher speeds when it comes to 100 or 150. It's just because of the heaviness of the bike. I was not feeling so much confident on the top end of Renegade Commando, just because it is a lighter motorcycle and you don't feel that it's a very heavy one. So the heaviness of the bike inspires some confidence. Now talking about the suspension, the Thunderbird suspension is much way better than that we see in the Renegade Commando, because Renegade Commando has an issue that when you go over a pothole on the higher speeds and all, the suspension rebounds back, which is not a good thing. Now talking about the heaviness of the bike, clearly Thunderbird is much heavier than the Renegade Commando. So if you are a kind of person who is comfortable in handling a heavy bike, you can go for the Thunderbird. Otherwise you should look forward for the Renegade Commando. At least I felt that the seat height of Renegade Commando is much lower than that in the Thunderbird. Now to talk about the build quality, clearly the Thunderbird will be the winner, just because you see the motorcycle, it is all made of complete cast iron and steel. On the other hand, you don't feel that kind of a metallic usage on Renegade Commando. So the build quality is extremely good with Thunderbird and not so great with the Renegade Commando. Now to talk about the instrument cluster, the Renegade Commando has a very shitty instrument cluster. You won't be able to see much things while you are riding. Instrument cluster of Thunderbird has a lot of information and you can read it while you are riding the motorcycle. Now talking about the tires, the stock tires of Thunderbird, I think it comes with an MRF tire, which is not so confidence inspiring when you do cornering and all. Slight kind of cornering, but the Renegade Commando gives much more confidence when you throw up to a corner. That's what I felt. Now talking about some off-road aspects of this bike, clearly I can see that the Royal Enfield Thunderbird is a good choice if you are going for off-roading. It's not that Renegade Commando cannot do off-roading. If it's a light off-road, then definitely you can take it, but for a heavy purpose of off-roading, I will tell that the Thunderbird will be the best choice. And one another thing which I wanted to note over here is that the Royal Enfield Thunderbird, or let it be any Royal Enfield, it is a very universal bike. You take it to any shop or any small workshop, you'll be able to repair any part of the motorcycle. Just one incident which came to my mind is that when my friend dropped this bike once in his parking lot, it has some bend on the pipe, as well as it has got some bend on the footrest also. So what the mechanic did when we took the motorcycle to the workshop is that he just took out the hammer and he hammered it and made it correct, the footrest. So you cannot imagine to do such things on Renegade Commando, and all REs built like that, and every other mechanic in any shop will be able to repair that thing. So that is a very plus point with the Royal Enfield Thunderbird. And another thing is that Royal Enfield is a proved bike. Is just getting picked up, and we clearly don't know what all the issues which is coming up. So if you are looking for a very proved bike, better stick to the Royal Enfield Thunderbird, or if you want to try something different, then Renegade Commando will be a better choice. And I hope that this video helped you in some way, and if you are having any doubts on any of these two bikes, just comment down below. I'll be happy to help you out. So that's it for today. See you in my next vlog. Bye bye.